Hello everyone, welcome to Amateur Hour Gaming. Today, I am taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a video game that has sold all of the copies, a bajillion copies. It's like one of the highest selling games ever. I've never played it until this year. It came out in 2013 on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Eventually it came to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I am playing it on PC with an Xbox controller because I'm more comfortable with it. And like I said, I've never played the single player before. I've like twice in my life I just messed around as you do at a friend's place, just like run around doing crazy stuff. But I'd never played the story mode until it was given away for free on the Epic Store, so I picked it up and played it. Is it just gonna load? I don't get to pick my load. Okay, well that's cool. And it's a good game. I liked the single player. I thought it was good. It still, I think it holds up 7 years later when I'm making this. It's not as emotional as I was hoping for. It's not as emotional of a story as like Red Dead Redemption was, but it's a lot of fun. The heists are definitely the highlight for me. Getting to decide which way to go about things, getting to plan them out beforehand, and then getting to execute. I will say I should have loaded this before starting the video, but what do you do? I will say it would have been nice if I understand that this is Grand Theft Auto and there's supposed to be shooting and action stuff, but it would have been nice if you pick the heist and if you execute it right, you don't get the criminals. Like I'm gonna talk about story spoilers because this thing's 7 years old, but like there was a heist where you're firefighters and you go into the FIB, which is the game's FBI building. You're up on like the 60th floor. The building is on fire from explosions, and you're stealing something out of it. And like you're trying to escape out of it, and it's like, oh, there's these FIB agents. Guess we'll have to shoot them. And it's just like, ah. Or like the very last mission, the Union Depository mission. You do a little mini game. We're just gonna pick like we'll pick this one. We'll pick this one. Just picking a random one. But like you do this mini game where you keep the Merryweather, which is some security agency, you keep them away from your people. And then like as soon as you're done doing that, it's like, oh, they found us. And it's like, okay, cool. So what was the point of that mini game? It's just a little finicky thing. But the game is fun. I love the characters. I was very surprised at how much I like the characters. I forgot to mention, not only was this the first time I played Grand Theft Auto 5, this is pretty much the first time I played a Grand Theft Auto game. I never played them growing up. I had one on PSP that I played a little bit of, and I was like, this isn't fun. They never appealed to me. I just didn't. Gangster game where you do gangster things is how I saw it, and wasn't too interested in that. So where are we at right now? I don't know. Let's just play. So yeah, this is my first Grand Theft Auto game, and I was pleasantly surprised by the characters, by the plot. Why are you just holding a grenade, bro? By the characters, the plot. If you haven't played, which I'm pretty sure everyone has, right now I'm playing as Michael. There are two other characters you can see in the bottom right. We got Franklin and Trevor, and you switch between them as you're playing, and I think that's really neat. Michael is a guy who used to be in a gang that robbed banks and stuff, and he and Trevor used to be in a gang together, and they had a bad score where things went south, and one of their guys ended up being dead, but Michael faked his death and didn't tell Trevor, so Trevor thought he was dead. He thought he's been dead for 10 years. And Michael is now retired. He's not now, but at the beginning of the game. He's retired, he's got a family and a mansion, he's living the high life, but he's bored out of his mind. Trevor, his life has gone way south. He lives in a trailer park, he's doing all kinds of meth and other things. He's got horrible temper issues and, excuse me, and he's just got a crappy life. Franklin is a younger guy. I assume he's in his 20s, even though he looks kind of older. He's been in the crappier neighborhood in Los Santos, just doing low things like drug deals, and he works for a repo company doing illegal repossessions. And he meets Michael, and they kind of team up to do crimes. He introduces him to his world and kind of takes him under his wing as like a fatherly figure. And it's really interesting how those three characters interact, how those three stories and three lifestyles interact. I was surprised at how much I liked Franklin's, and when I was first introduced to Trevor, I hated him, and I thought, I don't like this at all. I don't want anything to do with him, and then he really grew on me. He's absolutely insane. Completely insane. Reuniting the family. What mission is this? Oh yeah, the family's home. At this point in the story, Michael's family has left because he's started doing criminal things again. As you can see, he's got the dishes everywhere. He's got pizza boxes. That's what I would do too. Franklin's story, he as a character interested me the most, and I was surprised because it kind of feels like Michael and Trevor are the main characters and Franklin's along for the ride. But seeing Franklin's life, and I'm not sure how this is going to be a boring mission, and I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to exactly say this, but I get so mad and I can't control things. There's no easy way to say it. I grew up in a part of America that just doesn't have any black people. I grew up in a town of 600 people. My graduating class was 51. It was 50 white people, one Hispanic guy. That's just how I grew up in life. I never talked to black people, never experienced black culture. And just seeing him with Lamar, his friend, and his ex-girlfriend Tanisha, and seeing that life was really interesting just to how I've grown up in the world. I don't... It's like when early in the game, he helps out Michael a bunch, and he gets to move out of his aunt's house in this neighborhood, and he gets like this big mansion house, and it's this really great thing. And like in my head, I'm like, wow, cool, he made it. He got out of there, and he's making it big. He's got tons of money. He's got a great house. But when he talks to his friends, Lamar and his ex Tanisha, they're like, wow, you left us. Like, we're supposed to be your homies. You're supposed to be here with us and helping us. Like, Lamar says a bunch, we grew up in the sandbox together. We've grown up and you've abandoned us. And it was really interesting just to see that perspective for me, because that's not one that I've seen or experienced. And I don't know, it was really great to see his relationship with Lamar, because they have fights, they become homies again, all that stuff.
Oh, she's great.
It was really cool. Michael.
No, she's not.
He has anger issues too.
All this mesmerizing tantric sex she's been having with a much younger, better built, caring and compassionate man is great and all.
He yells a lot, and I think it kind of grinds on me by the end of the game that
winding you up, you miserable bastard.
Like, I want him to grow as a person. I want him to grow as a character, and he just doesn't seem to do it so much. He's got this therapist that you can go to and visit, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do that because I want him to improve. But
take a fucking hit.
See, he always.
We'll get Tracy on the way.
Always gets angry, and of course you learn at the end that the therapist isn't really that good, or in it for Michael's interest, but. Whatever.
Mom said she was
Trevor I really ended up liking. Before I get to that, again, I have my own self-imposed rules for the game. I don't run unless the character would run. I don't fast travel. I don't even know if there is fast travel in this game.
What's been happening?
I do not steal cars as Michael or Franklin because I don't feel like they would do that. I'm going the wrong way.
What's been happening with you?
Thanks.
Trevor.
It's
Again, at the very beginning, I hated him. Like, the first thing you get introduced to him is he's going insane, killing another guy who's, I don't even remember. And then he goes to this farm to murder a bunch of people. He's just killing all these people, and I don't know who they are, and I don't know why he's killing them. He starts this, he's talking about this business. The introduction to Trevor is terrible, in my opinion. It's just terrible. But from that point on, he becomes great. There's so many little moments with Trevor that like show what kind of a person he really is, and like he talks about how he had issues growing up. He never had anyone who loved him. He had a lot of issues, and you can see how inside he's a good person, but the way he was raised, the life he's had to live has changed him irreversibly.
Show my wife a little respect.
Like, there's a point where you finish a mission, and he's like, "Hey, Franklin, I'll give you a ride back." And they get in the car, and he's like, "Dude, put on a seatbelt. I'm being serious."
I'm gonna ask you one time,
Like,
nicely.
this guy who's
Michael,
insane, who would
hit
do,
him, please.
does all these crazy things. He's like, "Hey, make sure you wear your
Anything
seatbelt."
for you,
bud."
sweetheart.
Or like, there's a mission where you interrogate a guy as Trevor, and you do some really messed up things to him. You torture him. You straight up torture him. And then afterwards, he calls the FIB people, and they're like, "What do we do with him?" And they're like, "Oh, just kill him." And he doesn't. He could totally kill him. He's like, "Get up. I'm taking you to. You're gonna have a better life. You're gonna have to leave your family. I've got you a plane ticket out of here.
What he's trying to say, Mom, is
you
that
gotta go
he's a
though, so that you
pathetic,
don't die."
old, drunken mess,
And he
needs-
couldn't. He doesn't have to do that. He
You could do a
values
lot
that guy's
better than a
life.
prima donna
This
yoga
guy that he
instructor
just
with an anal
tortured.
fixation.
It's great.
Shut up.
As for the
we
actual
could try.
single-player gameplay for
I'm
this,
asking for a
I
shot.
mainlined the story.
Neutral
I did
ground.
very few
Dr.
of the side
Friedlander's
missions
office.
It's perfect.
because I
All of
wanted to
us.
see how the story went.
I'll
I didn't
pick up
want
Tracy
to.
and bring
You
her.
can do so much
you?
in this game. I acknowledge that I did not do
All right, you.
the majority
Come on, get up, you idiot.
of the things that you could do in this
No,
game because I wanted to
no
play this for the story.
yoga.
That's what was important to me.
All right. You know where your sister is, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And the missions are
but what
fun.
about that sugar, caffeine,
There are
emulsified
times, like
big
in
fat
Red Dead
flavored beverage
Redemption,
I want?
that I talked about a
Another
couple weeks
time.
ago,
Oh,
where
Come on, I want one too. Later.
you have to go to a point and you don't know what's going to happen at that point. It's just a letter on the map, and I don't like that. But otherwise, there's a point in the middle of the game where you get introduced to a lot of new characters who you do missions for. And maybe it's just me, but I lost track of who was working for who and why I was talking to them, why I was doing missions for them. Like, there's a guy, Devin Weston, who you steal cars for, and he never pays you. And the guys keep doing missions for them, and it's
Back there with
frustrating me.
your mom.
As you may notice, I have the graphics settings pretty low because I got a crappy computer, but
that's
okay.
Is more than okay with me.
I picked frame rate over graphical
Or the
fidelity.
first step in,
Why is that?
like the direction of okay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right. looks good. What are we doing here? I think we were getting.
Here's the tattoo shop.
Oh yeah. The game starts with the aiming is totally free aim, which I understand because it's probably expecting people to play with a mouse and keyboard. But man, the free aim sucks with the controller. Maybe it's just me, but I could not shoot at all. I turned it on complete auto aim like it was with Red Dead Redemption, so I just pull the trigger and I can shoot people. That's what's fun for me. I also feel like you die way too quickly. There's no regenerating health, which is crazy in it's a crazy feeling in 2020. I'm used to
Yes, and if you could wear some black lipstick, the little guy loves the goth vibe.
Oh.
I'm used to
Laszlo.
regenerating health, where when you get shot, it heals after time. So like as I started playing this, I would just be out in the open shooting guys, and because I'm used to like, oh, if I start seeing red around the corner, I should take cover. But you take cover here, you're not gonna get that health back, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like you die too quickly. We'll just do that. Now. I don't wanna do it.
Fucking prick! Jesus! Are you popping a
What was
fucking
I saying?
prick over here, you
Forgot what I was talking about.
fucking
I see all this piercing stuff.
Ow!
The missions are way out there. Like, there's no realism. I did it on his chest first time, so I'm gonna tattoo his back this time.
Think about this!
Let's not get him involved.
Let's do! I always thought
Which
tramp
one's back?
stamps could be
His
classy.
back. Is it gonna be a penis again? Oh, mini game.
Prison rape!
Yep, it's gonna be a penis game.
Will you just call out?
It's a lot of fun. The missions. They're way out there. Like there are missions where you're doing the most craziest things. Like you fly a crop duster into the back of an airplane, and then you jump out of it. You ride a motorbike over a train.
Look, we can work this out. Like men, you know, if you catch my drift.
You ride a motorcycle over a train. You use a submarine to pick up some nuclear device. It's all kinds of crazy things. Which I like realism in my games, but it's just so fun. They make these missions so fun.
Okay, guys, that was a joke. I'm a clown.
This one
I'm
isn't
a
so
sad,
fun, though.
lonely little clown.
You're gonna put her on your show, and you're
This
gonna
is
make sure
the
she
closest
looks good.
I think we got to Michael developing as a character, in that he's actually finally like standing up for his family.
All right, Trace, let's go.
and giving them what they want. Like, she was going to be on his show,
Call you or something, okay?
but they were going to make fun of her, so he took her away. And she's like, but I wanted to be on the show.
Ponytail.
And so here he's like, you're going to be on that show, and he's going to treat you right.
Boy, look. It's not good, is it?
But
You could use a tattoo.
he still has massive anger issues with his wife, and it never gets resolved.
You know, inking your name on your
The
Sully's
heists.
ass.
The heists are super fun. I don't know if we're going to see one, because I don't know where we're at this point in the game.
No.
But for most of them, you get to pick and choose how you want to go about it. There's usually like a quieter option or a gun blazing option.
But your
Like
therapist hasn't exactly been transformational to your mental health. So I don't know
the first
why
one in the
you need
game
another
is
position
where
to
you
help
rob a jewelry
explore
store,
dysfunctional.
tell them make you a
Hey,
grill.
this was your
That
mother's
was a
idea.
Well, I
joke.
guess it beats yoga.
Um,
Drive carefully.
and you have the choice of using knockout gas to knock all the people out and steal it, or you can just go in guns ablaze and just go in the front door and shoot everyone. I always try picking the more peaceful option because I feel like that's more fun to try and execute those things than to try and just shoot everyone. And like I said earlier, there were times where you could pick that choice and execute perfectly, but it would still end up with bad guys come in and you have a shootout. There's one where you have all this military gear, like you're just robbing a bank, and this was one where there was only one choice, so I don't know if I didn't do things in the story to give me a second choice, but it was only one choice and it was guns blazing, and it just got out of hand. It was like we robbed the bank and then the military was there. Franklin's driving an extremely slow construction equipment thing.
Enough. Okay.
And I don't know, there's some
Knock it off.
disconnect between what you're doing in the mission and what you're trying to accomplish and what actually happens with the action, especially in the
How about
heists.
you just let
But it's
your
okay,
mom
the
and
heists are
talk,
still fun.
okay? We
My
got some
favorite
issues we
was
gotta
probably the
iron out.
FIB one,
And seeing as you two aren't
where
into it, you can just sit there
you
and be
dress up
quiet.
as a janitor and infiltrate the building. You pretend to mob some stuff and plant bombs,
Thank you.
and then it blows up, and then you have everyone else dressed as a firefighter, and then they come in there and steal the stuff. It was really fun. There was only a little bit of shooting, so it wasn't too bad.
Michael, kids, let's go inside.
See,
Okay.
come on, let me out. Here's where, like, this is where I thought that they should have taken a turn for the better, the family, and you're gonna see that they don't.
Michael, I'm so glad. Isn't this great?
Fantastic.
I understand that the therapist is a terrible
I am being
therapist.
positive. This is me being positive.
Give it up, Michael. The sarcasm. It's one of the reasons I moved out. It's beneath you.
No, it's not, Amanda. Trust me. Nothing's beneath me.
No, normally there's a whore beneath you.
See, that's another
Look,
thing that
someone who spends every waking
the
moment
therapist
working on themselves
talks
inside and
asks
out.
always
I gotta tell
asks
you,
Michael about
progress
his
has been
sexual
really fucking
issues,
slow.
but they
How
never
would
really
you
talk about
know
that what that is.
progress like, you
Amanda's saying that
stupid
here is the
murdering
first
shit?
time that I've seen it implied
Gee,
that he's cheated
because
on
all
her
you
and
do
sleeps
is whine
around.
at me.
Oh,
But I
all
never do that in
is
the game.
wrong. Michael, could you
And,
please stop murdering people?
Like, the therapist
Michael,
is just
could
like,
you
how's
please
your
stop
sexual issues? And he's
endangering
like, good, I haven't had
me
any problems.
and the
And I
birth
didn't
of your
know what that was in
children.
reference
you
to.
kill people and then you sit in the sun and drink and feel guilty about it.
Like, this is all
That
stuff
is
we've been
not
over before.
I
This
don't
is
see you complaining
over
on
the
way to
halfway point of the
fucking
game.
bank.
And they're still yelling at
Let's
each other.
face it, Amanda. We're trailer trash, you and me. We were taught to do this.
Get a center, Michael. You have no center.
How about you suck my cock? Huh? No, wait. We'll both get a center before that ever happens.
You are such a fucking animal, a deranged animal.
You're fucking ain't right on deranged.
Voice actors are great, though.
How could I not be?
For the three main characters,
I
great.
should have had you locked up years ago, you stupid
Do it.
shit.
Do it. I'll put you in the fucking ground with the rest of them.
And that's really all the time we have.
Oh, but
Great.
I think we made some real progress there. Oh, Michael, I hope this goes without saying, but family work is a little more expensive.
What, double?
Squared.
Of course.
Take care now.
Hey, so you gonna come home with me or what?
Just after
Guess
all
we'll
that.
give it a try.
All right then.
Kids! So, will you drive us home?
Yeah, I suppose so. There
There
was
was a moment there.
one heist
I thought-
where,
I don't know, like maybe
in
we
order
still
to
had a ways
progress,
go,
you had to have
know?
Michael take flying
Maybe we
lessons
need more time.
and Franklin
Time
take
for what?
shooting
Time to
training.
move beyond screaming at each other.
That was
And it
cathartic.
wasn't too
Catharsis
good at
all
telling me
over
like
my
how
face.
much of the flying
Ooh,
lessons
I
I
got a
needed to
warm,
do or
fuzzy
how much of the
feeling.
shooting range I needed to
Probably
do.
just the meds
So I
you
did
rated.
literally everything I
Okay.
could do with every gun, with every plane and
All right,
helicopter.
I just don't want it to be more of the same.
Now
There's
you're the one making
it's
the
not a
demands?
perfect game.
No,
It's good though.
no, not
Ooh, that's right here.
demands. I'm saying you're right. Something was broke, and we gotta work at fixing it.
We do. All of us.
Yes, Mom.
For real, peeps.
Because I started to understand something in there. No one else gets this family. Not Dr. Friedlander, or my yoga teacher, or our tennis coach.
See, I understand that where they're like, no one else gets us.
Oh, hey,
It's you
Or
and
Jimmy's
we
third
gotta
grade
figure this out on
teacher.
our own.
Or the trash
But
guy.
Or Dad's proctologist.
Or the guy that thinks he's Jesus.
I don't know,
on
maybe I'm taking the
prescription
story
beats.
too
Or the
seriously.
hippie bum
I don't
who
know.
thinks the world is ending.
We're stuck with each other. I mean, how do you explain faking our deaths, changing our names, all the lying to the FIB? That monster, Trevor?
This is
Kids, rooms. If you find dead bodies, cheap women, or Trevor Phillips, we're checking into the Rockford Hills Hotel.
The very ending of the game was also something I didn't think was that great. It let me see how'd I do. Mission time. Dang it, only got bronze. Throughout the game there are bad guys that you meet, and then the very what I think at this point, yeah, that's fine. I think at this point, Trevor doesn't know that Michael is alive. So this is Trevor. Like I said, he's a interesting fellow. Where do I even want to go with him? I don't. The map is huge. The map is great. It's a lot of fun. He's a. Oh, yeah, I bought that business just to see what would happen. Let's just go here, I guess. I'm gonna run for the sake of this playthrough, though, even though I normally don't. The ending. So at one point, just to go even before that, there's so many times where the story just seems disjointed. Like halfway through the game, the dudes all talk about the Union Depository. Cars here. The Union Depository heist, the big one, the big heist that they always talked about doing that would get them millions of dollars. They talk about it at the halfway point, and then like it takes forever to actually get to it, and so many other stuff happens. But like all throughout the story, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do that Union Depository heist. Can't wait." And yeah, there's just some disconnect, and then that leads into the very end of the game where Franklin is told by the FIB to kill Trevor, to assassinate Trevor. And obviously he's like, no, I don't want to. And then near the very end, Devin Weston is like, hey, you need to kill Michael or Trevor. If you don't, I'm going to kill you. And that's one of those things where I saw that and I had to pause the game for like 5 minutes and I was like, what the heck do I do here? I don't want to have to make this choice. And so I picked the choice of neither. I didn't want to kill either of them. I was either leaning neither or Trevor, and I was like, man, people are going to be coming after Franklin, and I'm going to have to defend him. Let's just do this. But that's not what happened. After oh gosh, get up. After that, he goes to Lester, and the dudes set up a plan It's really weird. They're like, let's... I've never done a sea race, and this would be bad. They're like, let's tell them that we're gonna be here, and then we'll kill them all. And then they set it up, and then a bunch of bad guys come, but it's not the main bad guys. And it's like, well, what was the point of that? Oh, wow. Okay. And then the guys are like, we gotta end this. We gotta tie up all these loose ends. We're gonna kill Mr. Chang. We're gonna kill Slim, I think his name was. And Turn. We're gonna kill Slim and one other person I can't remember. But it was like these Mr. Chang and Slim are... Oh, hello. They're people who were like... They had like 2 missions with them. Like Slim, you meet, and then the next mission is a thing that he set up where he betrays you, and then you never hear from him again. Mr. Chang, same thing. You meet him in the very first mission with Trevor, and you hear about him a little bit later. Like you have some run-ins with him in the middle, but he never seemed like an end thing, like a loose end. I understand that, at least with Mr. Chang, he and Trevor have conflicting business interests, but with Franklin, it's like, I mean, he could just never see that dude again. So it was weird having to go and do those assassinations. Oh man, am I gonna win? Am I good at this? So it really didn't feel like I would have rather it ended with the Union Depository heist. Yes, look at me go. World record, 5,000 in a second. Cool. I would have rather it ended with the Union Depository and some kind of problem with Trevor and Michael, as they were alluding to. Can I take out my phone here? Okay. I'll have to get on land. The cell phone is one of the coolest features of this game that I'm surprised I haven't seen other games do. But again, even Grand Theft Auto 5 as a whole is something that I just haven't seen other games try and replicate. The world being so huge with all these things to do, it's such a well-crafted open world. I guess the only real competition would be Saints Row, and that's fun, but it doesn't have the same feeling of this being like an actual city as this does. Okay, the cell phone. It's not letting me. I was hitting the wrong button. No, I got nothing. Okay. I don't remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. The cell phone is great. You can open it up at any time to read text messages, emails, do other stuff. It's a really great addition that was very, very useful, and it's smart because it fits in the game world. They have all these attributes for like running and shooting. Like the more you run, the healthier you'll be, and the more shooting you do, the better at shooting you'll be. The more driving you do, the better at driving you'll be. I don't know. I didn't really like it. It just seemed too video gamey for me, especially because like I had. Dang it! This was not a good idea. Oh, there's cars. Oh, oh, we made it. You can go to the flight schools with Michael like I did and just become a 100 out of 100 pilot, spending 10 minutes doing that. And it's not like it's an RPG thing where you need to boost the stats in order to handle encounters better. Excuse me, sir, I would like your truck, ma'am.
Isn't this great?
All the vehicles have a different feel and different attributes, which is really cool. When you drive different cars, it genuinely feels like you're driving different cars. So we're going to do one of the side missions just so I can kind of, I guess, show why I avoided them. I guess I didn't talk about that, but they just didn't seem that important to me. They just seemed like a waste of time. Like I did one with Michael where you randomly find this woman jogger. And she's like, you want to race? I love running. Running is so great. And then you race her and you beat her and she's like, all right, see you next time. And it's like, okay. And I know that when you do the missions, you can unlock them for use in heists and stuff. But I didn't really see the need to. And that's another thing, is like early on, you select other people to take part in your heists. And the better they are, the higher a cut they get. If you use them repeatedly, they become better at heists. But there aren't enough heists for that to matter. I don't know. I picked the same gunman every time, and he was like maxed out by heist number 3. And I did a regular mission and got a person who could join me for heist. I wasn't even paying attention to the map. Did I miss the turn? I must have. And so he was made available for a heist, but his attributes were real crappy, so I never used him. And so I was like, well, if the other ones are just going to be like that, I don't know why I do that. Sure, he takes a smaller cut, but that doesn't matter if you can't execute the heist well. I feel like I'm being really negative about the game when it is a lot of fun. Just doing the missions is a ton of fun. Like, I haven't been able to show it because I picked a terrible save, but it's just a really fun game, and the characters are good. This is about the single player only, because there is the whole GTA Online, which is making them all kinds of money. And I'll just talk a little bit about that. I had the worst experience with GTA Online. I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I just had connection issues, I had glitches. It was me and a friend. We just wanted to start a crime business and do crime things and eventually do a heist together. But I couldn't play. I think the longest I played it for was 20 minutes without something happening, and most of the time I couldn't play for 30 seconds. It would kick me out, it would kick him out, there would be bugs happening. It was a horrible experience. And I read online that there are ways to, ways to adjust like your router settings and all these things. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that to play a video game online. I load up Rocket League and Overwatch and it just works. I'm not going to spend time messing with settings, fiddling with things. I just want to play the game and have fun. And I could not play Grand Theft Auto Online. I could not play it. So that's my thoughts on that. There are buildings you can purchase, and like I'm coming up to one right now, and I don't get the point of that either. I bought one for like $700,000. I was like, you'll receive a weekly income of $900. And I was like, but I don't. That's not even worth it. That's a terrible investment. And you can do missions for them and stuff, and it just seemed more time consuming. I ignored it. I feel like this game has a lot of stuff you can do, a ton of stuff you can do, but none of it feels important to me. None of it feels like stuff that I want to do. Like, Red Dead Redemption had a handful of side missions that I made sure I did every single one of them, because they were great stories, they were interesting stories, and I wanted to experience those. You don't often get much from it, but you get these stories, where this is like, you ran, or like there's one where like this guy gives you drugs and then there's aliens coming at you and you shoot them all. Wasn't that wacky? I don't know, the humor just doesn't, it's not for me, I guess. Alright, let's do this one and see how it is.
Promise. Hey. Hey thing. Nice house, isn't it?
I've never done this. This is my
Like
first
it?
time experiencing this.
Selling it. You want to buy it? I'm downsizing.
No, I'm good.
Extra commission.
I used to sell houses like this all the time, okay? I sold dreams. I made lives meaningful.
I'm not sure about that.
How about you like beautiful things, though, don't you?
Sure.
Well, I just happen to know the most beautiful woman. You want a bouncy. Josh Bernstein. Yeah. I'm the Josh Bernstein.
Yeah, I never heard of you.
Oh, well, I used to be a big deal once in real estate, and so I had my license taken away. My meal ticket.
Where's the chick?
I'll get to that. See, it's not really money that I'm after here. It's a little something more awkward than that. Now, Lenny Avery. He was my best friend, and now he has taken all of my clients. All of them. Do you think that you could take out all of his for sale signs?
That was easy.
She's worth it, man. I love you. I love you. I love you. Lenny Avery.
Okay. Find and destroy all Lenny Avers for southwest northern city. It doesn't even tell me where they're at. Okay. See, like, I don't want to spend my time going around looking for sale signs to destroy. It's not fun. You guys' website with all this. Okay, there we go. So I would have to use that website to find it. So I just want to see how this would work. Let me pull over to the side of the road before I open my cellular device. Alright, okay, so that's not so bad then. That's not so bad. Let's go destroy this one just to see how that goes, and then we'll go find something else. So that's not too bad. That's not so bad. Still, I don't want to spend my time running around destroying signs. It's not my cup of tea. So yeah, this game has a lot to do, but not all of it important. I wish it was more focused. But I understand that Grand Theft Auto is a series. That's kind of how it's always been. It's like, they want to give you more and more stuff to do. Can I punch it? I hope I can punch it. Wait, how do I even punch this? Okay, let's climb.
Hey, I don't want any trouble, all right?
Yeah! Haha! Disrespect your surroundings. Okay, let's go see another one. Okay, well, while I'm doing this, I might as well say here's another problem I have with the game, is there are a few times, like right now, where I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing to make the story go farther. Ah, yes, the police. There's, the wanted level thing in this game is interesting. You get 1 to 5 stars, and then the police will look for you, and you have to hide where they can't see you, so like in an alleyway or something, until it goes away. I think the time it takes for that to go away is a bit too long, because like as soon as you find a good hiding spot in an alley, you know, like, okay, this is where I'm going to be, where they can't find me. And it's just, it sucks having to just sit there and wait, and wait, and wait. And sometimes they see you through walls, which is frustrating, because then the whole timer starts over again. So that wasn't cool, but I didn't have too much issue with that. The city is amazing. I love driving through it. I love exploring it. I've been to Los Angeles once in my life for a vacation, and I went to the place in here, which is the equivalent of the Santa Monica Pier, and I was like, oh man, I recognize all this stuff. I've been here. And I can only imagine how that must feel for people who actually live in LA.
A veritable treasure trove.
That's a perfectly good sock.
Just ignore us.
Yes, don't mind us. Pretend we're not here.
Okay.
You're not Jock Cranley, are you? Actor and artist? I love your work. Oh, stunt double. Oh, our favorite show. Mrs. Thornhill, snap.
Watch the birdie.
Oh, pretend to throttle me. Yes, like you did on that poster you did.
Yeah, okay, well, that would be my pleasure. Like that, huh? Yeah? Maybe something like this? Or like that? Huh? You like that?
That's enough now, dear.
You like that? Ooh! Ooh! Oh, hey!
Thank you.
Wow, that's quite a woman there, huh?
Oh, we are not worthy. We're not worthy.
We're not
I'm not Jock, what's his name?
Cranley, big star in the 80s.
We love celebs. That's why we came to Tinseltown.
Yes, before we met you, we were trying to break in to Bruce Spade's house. and steal his rubbish.
The things these stars throw away. They're not like you or me.
Mrs. Thornhill has the most unbelievable collection of celebrity underwear and bathroom products. Things they've actually used themselves.
You guys have a great vacation, all right? I gotta go.
We could do with some help. All this climbing over walls and rooting through bins, it's such a business. Nigel's got an arthritic knee.
What do you need?
Just a few Vinewood souvenirs for my museum.
Look at this map. I mean, a lot of these places have famous people living in them, and some that are just hanging about. Bring us some things. I'd be very thankful indeed.
Americans are the most wonderful people in the world, aren't they?
The best.
Such fun.
Okay, well, I'm gonna load up a different game because I feel like I'm just showing things that I don't like. Is this the one that I loaded last time? Yeah, I think it was. Let's do, because this is after the mission, I think. So let's do this one. We'll wait for the loading again. Because again, what I did mostly when I played was the story missions, and they were a ton of fun. Don't let my negativity stop you. Everyone's played this game. Everyone's already played this game but me. I'm the last person in the world to play it. So I don't know. It's good though. It's a good game. I like it. I don't even know what people thought of this game because I didn't read anything about it. Like I genuinely, my interest level of Grand Theft Auto 5 was 0. I didn't know anything about the story, the characters. I mean, I saw it got a ton of good review scores, but that doesn't mean anything. I didn't know what the public perception of it was. Okay, we are going to Devon. It was all the way over here. Go. There we go. I believe we are Trevor now. Oh, yeah, because, yeah. We are at a point where Michael has been kidnapped by the Chinese. So I can't play as him. I'll just make another.
Patricia, Mrs. Madrazo.
Trevor, oh, I miss you. All you boys.
Miss you too. I can't speak for the other boys.
You're such good friends.
It's a bit more complicated than that. Actually, Michael and I, not speaking.
Old friendships cannot be replaced.
Hey, how are you? Is Martin looking after you?
He's here. I've got to go.
Okay, this is a very small detail, but I just gotta say how much I love not only that each of them has a different phone. I'll have to pull up the other guys when I play as them, but the fact that Trevor has a broken screen on his Windows phone. This is a Windows phone. They don't even exist anymore, but I had one. So just seeing all these blocks and the colors and stuff, and I was just like, oh no, oh Trevor, no. Oh man, the Windows phone. Back in my college and high school days, I wanted a phone that not everyone else had. So I had like a BlackBerry, I had a Palm Pre Plus, which was this clam-shaped thing. The BlackBerry I had was like really, really small, and it had a tiny keyboard that had 2 letters per button. Keyboards! Phones used to have keyboards! And then my first full touchscreen phone was a Windows phone like Trevor has, because I was like, it's Windows, they'll make a good phone. The thing didn't even have Snapchat. You had to use a third-party Snapchat app, and it sucked. It actually, I will say that third-party Snapchat app had the ability. Originally with Snapchat, you could type only one section of words. This third-party Snapchat app, you could type more than one section of words, and I always blew people's minds by typing so much. That's how I was cool in college. So that's just a little detail that I liked. Let's get up here. We're picking up Lamar, I think, for something. Put your gun away.
Lamar Davis. What's up?
I'm part of the team. That's what's up.
Team? I don't do teams.
Devin Weston's car stealing team, the one Frank's running.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Hey, look, I boosted the ride. I'm about to meet your boy Franklin, and I need your ass to pick up the Packer, meet us outside the garage, and we taking these motherfuckers up to Polito Bay.
Ah, this is a fun one.
Fine. That's a long trip.
Espionage in Blaine County.
Oh, okay. See, this is what it does in the middle of missions. You switch characters, and I like that. I like seeing the missions from different perspectives. Like, there will be a time where they'll be in different places doing a heist, and it'll be like, hey, can we get some support from up above? And you take over as someone who's in a sniping position, usually Michael, I think. And you snipe them, and it's like, oh, we got people coming on the rear, can you take care of that? And you switch to someone else who can take care of it. It's really cool. I really like that. Really made you feel like a team. All that good stuff. The radio stations. I will give them props for... How do I don't remember how to switch them. They sound like real radio stations with DJs, commercials, news, everything. Props to them for that. As for the actual channels themselves, I didn't like any of them. I don't know if it's just that the music I was listening to in 2013 wasn't the same as this music. Like, I like rock music, and I listened to the rock stations. I didn't recognize any of the songs. It was either this heavy metal stuff that was bands or songs I didn't recognize, or 70s, 80s rock, which are fine, but not my cup of tea. But again, that's just with me, personal thing. Oh wow, listen to the same station, Lamar.
The boost, homie. How'd it go? Any problem?
You know me, bud.
I never played in first person because.
So what you think? Smooth as silk.
Actually,
I'm
yeah.
thinking where the blood stains and the bullet holes
do it.
and shit.
Let's try. Oh no.
That amateur shit behind.
I don't like this at all. This is terrifying.
So tell me what happened.
I saw the ride. I took the ride. No drama.
No security. No one saying, who the fuck is this gangly motherfucker doing in my car?
Nothing.
That's worrying, man. That's some shady ass shit.
Man, chill. Line it up on the carrier, homie.
Boy, Trevor got that fast.
That's teamwork, motherfuckers.
Boss man's happy, then we'll get moving.
Man, this old bust ass nigga ain't no boss.
Enough, nigga. Get your ass in the truck. Let's go.
The game does a pretty good job
Freeway, past Paleto Bay.
of making the dialogue that people do last just long enough for you to hear it before arriving at your location, which I really appreciate because I love hearing all the dialogue, and I hate having to sit and wait just before the end point to hear all of the dialogue.
I say what I see, homie. You dig on man meat.
Rumor and hearsay. We got a long way to go. I'd get comfortable.
All right, nigga, but don't try nothing.
How far is it?
In this thing, about 4 hours.
Shit.
It's your operation, Slick.
Shit, if you all right
what a
driving,
smooth
I'm
turn.
gonna catch up on some sleep.
What
Go
a
for it.
smooth
It's all right
turn.
being the boss. Meant to be running things, but this fool's sleep.
Yeah, I'll be
So again,
asleep
these
when your
missions for
ass
Devin
stop
Weston, I don't
talking,
get
nigga.
it. They do all these cars, they never get any money, but they keep doing it. They do that with a lot of the missions, even Michael with the FIB. Every single mission, they're like, okay, once we do this, we're even, and you're out. And then they'll come back and be like, okay, we actually need you to do more. And he's like, but I thought I was out. And he's like, no, you're back in. You got to do this, or we'll ruin your life. And they just do it over and over again.
As a matter of fact, I don't even know the dude, but
Kind of
considering the mutual acquaintances we got, I would have liked an invite to the retirement party.
There weren't no parties.
No party?
Oh!
I use the term retirement euphemistically.
Homie, for a dude that kills dudes and eats dudes and
Okay.
fuck dudes, you
Cut me
talk
off.
fruit.
It's unconfirmed.
So you may be wondering, if you've seen my videos before, my self-imposed rules where I only walk unless you have to run, no fast traveling because it's realistic. Why am I following why am I not following the rules of the road? And that is because it would take forever if I had to drive in actual LA traffic.
Man, dude was a killer, a thief,
Here's a fun
liar,
B story.
and irritable as shit.
When me and my wife went to Los Angeles for a trip,
fucking
Again,
liar.
I'm from a town of
Homie, you
600
sound
people
like some
in
bitch he ain't
rural
called, like,
North
you
America.
lied to me.
I
Not
am some
shoot.
bitch he didn't call
Shoot.
for 10 years.
Fuck, man, he fucked you. The
City
fucker
life
got fucked.
is
Damn.
not something I'm accustomed
fucked
to,
the
especially like
fucker
Los
himself.
Angeles.
Shut
We
Man, the first
we were
time's
gonna
always special.
we need to go to
I hope he was
Walmart for
gentle with
something,
you.
and so I
Enough
looked
of
it up
that.
on Google Maps.
And
No, we
enough
were
about
leaving.
me
We were leaving
fucking.
Los
I don't
Angeles,
do
and
that.
we wanted to take a side
As a
detour to
rule.
Walmart if
Maybe
we could.
when I got
And
to
it was
LS,
like
I was a little
3 hours just to
overwhelmed by
leave the
place. I got a
city,
little out of
and I was like,
control. But that ain't
that
who I am.
that can't be
For the
right.
most part.
That
But the
that can't be
Michael
right.
fucked
So I tried like looking
Yeah.
up alternate
The
routes. I
Michael
tried
fucked. And the Michael
uh,
fucked Brad.
like
And the Michael ran
looking,
off
and
with
I was
the
like,
FIB.
this is
Brad.
real. This is really how this
Who-
is.
Who
Every
the fuck
single
is
route
Brad is our boy
outside.
back from the day.
And Michael killed him?
I gotta
Michael
pause
got
briefly.
him killed. He died when Michael faked his death. I thought Michael died and Brad was in the pen, when actually Brad was in the ground and Michael was in hiding.
And now Michael's dead and it's all okay?
Michael's current condition is unconfirmed. I said that.
But if he was dead, you'd be cool because of this Brad dude who died whenever.
Yes,
Man, I thought you and Michael were tight.
so did I.
Okay, that make a lot of fucking sense.
Some swingers resort in Guatemala or a war zone. You're on the way down, so you get desperate.
It's a lonely old road, ain't it?
Lonely? Hey, I couldn't say. I mean, not really. A road's a road. It ain't got abandonment issues.
Truckers on the blacktop making do.
I don't need to make do. I need to make snaps on these rides.
Sure. Yeah, the time will come. It's what happens before we get paid is what? Franklin's asleep. It's just me and you.
What? What you trying to say? You want me to jack you off or something?
Jesus, no. God, no. Of course not. Unless
Man, you's a sick fiend.
just fiending for some friendship.
Friendship? Right, whatever, man.
It's just truckers are a symbol of this country. Truckers are a symbol of this country. And a part of its mythology, like cowboys, gangsters, hobos, gangbangers.
Truckers are about the unsexiest myth I ever heard. Apart from hobos. Maybe tied with hobos.
Freedom. Loners in the night. You know what truckers do?
Cut up women and get other dudes to jack them off. Come to think about it, aside from not lugging freight around the country, you got about all the necessary prerequisites for a fine career in hauling.
No shame in that.
If you don't want to get paid or enjoy human contact.
Money's bullshit. So is friendship.
All right, all right, all right. I see you still touching.
The assistant to the host.
Shut up, okay?
How's Franklin doing over there?
Dude getting paid to sleep. Don't even worry about him.
Ah, the sleep of innocence.
So he like in charge on this one? You work for him?
He's a kind of figurehead. A puppet, if you like.
With Devin Weston's hand up his ass.
Right up to the elbow.
That dude's real shady.
Ooh, he's repulsive. But, well, once he's paid us, he can be whatever we want him to be.
What you want him to be?
I want him to be someone who understands that all the money in the world can't save him from a nasty guy who thinks he's an asshole.
Now that's something I want to see. So, tell me, man, how y'all end up meeting?
Michael introduced us. Me and Frank didn't exactly travel in similar circles.
Nah, I mean the creeper.
Michael? Ha! I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
Sorry, I don't want to reminisce. The wounds ain't healed.
You such a delicate little bitch, ain't you? Where your pussy at? What you got in there?
Screw you!
That's good. Let it out, homie. Go on, let it out. Man.
The turd was probably playing me from the start.
Right, yeah. Probably. How he do it? Where? When?
All right. Fuck! I was running this small air freight outfit in North Yankton. Tiny operation. Just one beagle I could borrow when I needed it. We were kids.
Kids with planes.
So, this guy I know says there's this other guy needs some hot cargo moved across the border.
Oh shit, what's happening?
Wake up, you dozy motherfucker. One time was on a ride.
What you gonna do, oh fearless leader?
Okay, shit, I got an idea. Keep driving. I'm gonna take the tricked out JB700 and get rid of the tail. Man, Molly said there'd be some hardware on board. Shit, we'll see.
Hey, take this headset.
They must have waited till we was out of town. Yeah, looks like it,
All right, my apologies for that. I'm just gonna be honest. I live in a city now, and we're at a period in time where there are riots going on, and because of what's happening in our city, my wife got sent home from her work early. All of her work got sent home just because there are riots in that area, and they want her to be safe. So I just wanted to talk to her, and we talked about that a little bit. So back to this video game. This is I like this mission. I like the missions that have less shooting and more driving. I don't know. It's just I didn't have fun with the shooting. Why am I saying so much negative things about this game? I like this game a lot. I have a lot of nitpicks. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, this car has guns in it. And boop.
Man, you brought the cops right to us, dog.
Maybe you should have done the boost, Mr. CEO. Now get on the shit. You want us to crash, Frank?
Also, that whole time where I was on the phone, I was driving with one hand on the controller, just so everyone knows how cool I am. Would you go faster? Spikes. That didn't hit it? Spikes. There we go. The music's great in the missions. How did that not? Spikes. And spikes. Yeah, got it. I think, to sum it up, the sum of Grand Theft Auto 5 is greater than the whole is greater than the parts. I have lots of nitpicks, but throughout playing it, I had fun and I wanted to keep playing it. And when it comes to video games, what else can you ask for?
Hey, I'm gonna speak to the legal councilwoman. Get us paid.
Hello, Franklin.
Yeah, where Devin at? Somewhere meditating or ripping somebody off?
In light of the drama your efforts caused, we felt it was not perhaps the best idea for you two to be seen together for a while.
Where's the money?
Mr. Weston is one of the most brilliant investors the world has ever known. He's obviously a maverick, but he's also rigorous in his research.
Yeah, he may be brilliant. Look, let me be the first to tell you. He ain't gonna fall in love with your ass.
This isn't a good way to end this video, but I've just been thinking it. I had more fun with Saints Row the Third than I did with this game. But this is a good game. It's an experience that you'll never get with any other game. There's no other game that can level up to Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm excited. I'm going to be looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 whenever that comes out in the future. And I'm going to follow that news and with anticipation.
I boost cars and pop motherfuckers. Maturity is not really my fucking thing.
Alright, so this is Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't think I did a real good job of telling you why I liked it or showing it, but it's a fun game. It's a lot of fun. There's tons of stuff to do if you're into that. It can get a little out there, and there are lots of nitpicks I have, but overall, real fun game. If you're just looking for a game to do some dumb fun, to explore and do crazy things,
hey, look, you
can
seen
do a lot
Mike?
worse.
Man, the contact he set me up with is holding out on the payment. What the? What's happening, Lester? Hey, look, you seen Michael? Man, the contact he set me up with is holding out on the payment, dawg.
Huh. Let's see. His phone is offline. His credit cards aren't active. This is aberrant behavior. Last usage is for...
Okay, thank you for watching Amateur Hour Gaming. If you like what you saw, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, comment if you want to
Damn.
say something funny.
Is he in the city, dog?
If you didn't like this, that's okay. Leave me a dislike. Comment what I can do better. And maybe someday I can earn your subscription. Otherwise, everyone, stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.